Now's the time to assemble the kick pedal. And what I did is I removed the paint, the primer, from the two mating surfaces, and then I cut them in with the green paint so that it would, because this fits so tight in there that it's hard to get the spray down in yonder. All of them that I have found, the examples that I thought was from the factory, the bolts went from that side, not from the other side. To assemble the kick pedal, I've already started it. I cut that in with some paint down in yonder spray. Put this together, put the two nuts there. The kick pedal is kind of straightforward. This one happens to be a S318. The segment gears a S317. These do have the 30 number on them. A lock washer, I've already got them in there. So tighten them up. About like that. That's plenty tight enough. These bolts on this particular one are kind of even. On the later models, you'll find that these bolts are a little bit longer than the nut. I got that on there. That's all good to go. I did cut it in with some green paint after I removed the primer on the two mating surfaces so it would be good and tight. I did remove the paint off of the sliding surface up there. The sliding tooth don't have any primer on it just yet. The way you do that, it's those shoulder bolts. It's nothing complicated at all about it. You just you start that one. The one with the spring goes in the back in this little slot in here. Okay, you get that one started to where the shoulder part's down yonder. This is the easy way. Put that in there like that and slide it up in yonder like that. Okay, now you got that spring captured in there. You bring that around and put the other bolt in. But you see how it works? The spring holds it up there. And this, I do have a socket here that's got that little thing yonder on it. It's like a screwdriver thing. It fits right in there. If you use a screwdriver that's too small, you will burr them up every time. So you do want the tool that fits correctly. And just put that right in there. Fit that tool right up yonder and tighten them up. Be kind of easy on tightening these because there's a small shoulder there on it. So this is one place where that's really tight. You want to use your judgment there. And the spring will hold it tight. And that slides back when it comes in contact with the mating surface. But that's all there is that. And I will touch this up with the primer before we paint it. But now we have a completely assembled kick pedal, 1937. More gaskets. More gaskets. Now we're on to the top gas tank gaskets. The way I do this is I cut the piece of gasket oversized, square. I take the pencil and I scribe from the gas tank top a blueprint of the bolt hole pattern. Over there where the filler is, I'll make a mark inside and then I go all the way around the outside of the tank top. Now at this point, I got the diagram yonder on the gasket, but if you cut this gasket to fit that gas tank, that flange right there is a little less than 1/4 of an inch. Some of them are less than that, especially the one cylinder. And the distance between this bolt hole pattern, that distance right there, there's just not enough support right there to keep that gasket from oozing inside or outside with just a 1/4 inch surface area. So what I do is, I know that's my filler hole right there. So I just take the pencil and make that gasket about 1/2 of an inch or so too big on the inside. You don't have to do nothing. Just get her done. You know, just go around yonder about 1/2 of an inch. Then what you do is the bolts are 5/16. So you take one of these here gasket cutters, and you cut them holes out like so. You put that thing right down yonder and you twist it around, and you got yonder hole in there. You do them all like that. That's your bolt holes. It's a gasket cutter, and you do have to sharpen it with a round file. But you see it making a gasket. You see how easy it is. Now at this point, we got the holes in yonder. At this point, what you want to do is to cut the inside of it out. And like I say, you want it to end up somewhere around a half of an inch inside the outside line that you drew on the gasket material. Just somewhere in that range. The only where you have to kind of be a little bit shy of that is up here where the filler cap is. That's the reason you draw that circle there, is so you can trim that away so your gas can get in there. Okay, now we got this gasket made up to this point. Now what I'll do, the way to get this thing to work is that gasket is ready to use. The bolts just, well, they're all dead on it because I used a top as a pattern. Now, do not cut the outside salvage away as of yet. And you can't get that thing on there wrong. It won't fit but one way. But we're going to leave it just like this right here until I coat this again, and then we'll put the sealer on there. We'll put this on here, we'll put that on there, we'll bolt her together, and then we'll take a blade and cut it to fit the gas tanks. Because these gas tanks and these tops are notorious. They don't fit. They don't fit. The bolt holes, just looking down in yonder from right here, the bolt holes lines up, they're centered of the holes. And you can see I've got overhang there, that's overhang this way here, overhang there. They're castings. They will be like that. So you put this thing together, bolt it all together, and then you take the blade off, cut around it, and you're good to go. We have made a gasket in that few seconds. On to something else now.